breaks from the region. Only on Northeast Live. Your station, your voice. News to keep you ahead. Evening Prime, every day at 7 p.m. News breaks from the region. Only on Northeast Live. Your station, your voice.
All right, straight to the top focus from Meghalaya. Well, situation turned volatile in Tura in the state's South Garo Hills this evening following massive violence that broke out outside the Chief Minister's Tura office. In fact, Chief Minister Kongrat Sangma has been holed up inside the CMO. Well, as per sources, violence broke out shortly after Chief Minister Kongrat Sangma held a meeting with the members of agitating organizations who were demanding for winter capital. In fact, the Chief Minister had invited the agitating groups for discussions in presence of all stakeholders in Shillong on August 9th and 10th. Well, it was at that point in time that an irate mob gathered in front of the Chief Minister's office and started pelting stones at the Chief Minister's office. Well, the police had to resort to tear gas shells to disperse the crowd. However, in terms of events, 5 policemen were injured and vehicles, including an ambulance, are reportedly said to have been destroyed. Meanwhile, security has been put on high alert with authorities restricting movement of people, and a strict checking is being done at all police stations in the district. Besides, all public officers as well as Chief Minister's residence and DC office is being secured. Well, the movement of vehicles coming to Tura are also being checked. All right, so on your screens are the Northeast Live exclusive visuals. You can clearly see the irate mob gathered in front of the Chief Minister's office and started pelting stones at the Chief Minister's office. So on your screens are the Northeast Live exclusive visuals. So situation turned volatile in Tura in the state's Garo Hills this evening following massive violence that broke out outside the Chief Minister's Tura office. And these are the exclusive visuals from Tura from inside the Chief Minister's office. where the officials accompanying Chief Minister Sangma are also holed up. Besides, the injured personnel are also being provided first aid care. So Northeast Live exclusive visuals on your screens from Tura. So these are the visuals from inside the Chief Minister's office, where the officials accompanying Chief Minister Sangma are also holed up. And also let me tell our viewers here that the injured personnel are also being provided first aid care. So as per the latest input, a total of 6 to 7 police personnel have been injured. And on your screen, so these are the Northeast Live exclusive visuals from inside CM's office. All right, so there you can clearly see Chief Minister Kongrat Sangma meeting the injured police personnel. So on your screens are the visuals from inside the CM's office, and just outside, an irate mob gathered in front of the Chief Minister's office and started pelting stones, and there 6 to 7 policemen have been injured. And on your screens you can see these are Northeast Live exclusive visuals of Chief Minister Kongrat Sangma, who is stuck in the CM's office. And so there you can see Chief Minister Kongrat Sangma along with other officials who were attending the meeting this evening, and Chief Minister Kongrat Sangma taking note of the injured there. Alright, so Northeast Live Editor-in-Chief Wasbir Hussain spoke exclusively to Chief Minister Kongrat Sangma to know more about the situation on ground. Listen in.
Now joined by the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Mr. Conrad Sangma, who is in Tura and was stuck at the Chief Minister's office in Tura for some time. Mr. Chief Minister, you are in Tura. You are at the Chief Minister's office in Tura trying to hold talks with the agitating leaders in the Garo Hills for their various demands. And I was told that there was a peaceful meeting. What happened after that? Who were you talking to initially?
So basically, there were 2 or 3 groups, not majority of the NGOs, a few groups who were wanting us to discuss about the roster system and winter capital issue in Garo Hills. And basically, some of them have went on fast, and they were fasting for the last few days. And so they had urged and requested that if CM comes and talks to us, then we will, place our concerns, and then we'll decide what to do. And I said, okay, I have no problem. And so I had met them. So, but after we met them, and after basically we came to a conclusion, then suddenly there was a bit of agitation outside. And when I asked the people to go and check, the NGOs to go and check and tell them that not to get into this unnecessary, the NGOs came back to me and told me they have no idea who these people are.
Right.
And they said that these people have not been here for the last 14 days. We are a small group, because this is actually a few, concerned citizens who had come together.
Yeah.
And they said, we are not, want to be in this violent kind of a thing, and we don't know who these people are. They're not letting us also go. In fact, the tent in which these people were actually having their fast, these people outside who were agitating, they actually burnt that tent also. So It's quite ironic, in fact. So therefore, clearly indicating that these people looks like in the initial thing that are not really directly part of this group and these NGOs. And now the NGO leaders themselves are here, in my office, sitting in one of the rooms, and they're not able to do anything. Then I'm here because right now my police are injured, and I don't feel like leaving them here. And I want to make sure that they're all taken to the hospital. So I'm just waiting for that.
Right.
Once we are able to take my injured police people to the hospital, then I will go home. So situation is under control now. But yes, this was unfortunate and unexpected and kind of violent.
How many policemen are injured according to you?
About 5 to 6 of them. 5 seriously injured. And a lot of bruises and everything, and another few have got light injuries.
Now, this is very significant that they have been agitating for quite a couple of days on this winter capital issue, roster issue, and so on. And then you had gone there basically to try and talk to as many people as you can to resolve the issue. Then this violence takes place. Now, do you have
Yeah.
a needle of suspicion on anyone? Who are these vested interest people?
No, it will be wrong for me to just simply jump into any conclusion and say so and so. We will definitely investigate. But I think the important thing to know is two. That number one, most of the organizations in Garo Hills actually were not part of this agitation or this particular discussion. It was some two groups were there specifically, and they were there. So 90%, 95% of the groups were not. Because they have been discussing with me, and we've been taking up the matter separately. Number
Right.
two, as I said, that when these people were having the fast, then suddenly, as I said, after the discussions were over, when the agitation started, they were not able to control, and they said that they don't even know who these people are outside.
Right.
So, as you said correctly, we are obviously it's very clear that these people are not part of this agitation group, and they looks like people who have come to create trouble and take opportunity in the situation.
One last question to you, Mr. Conrad Sangma. You were apparently telling some of these leaders who met you right there where you are, that is the CM's office in Tura, that you were willing to meet them for another round of talks on either the 8th or 9th of August in Shillong.
Absolutely. That was the conclusion of the meeting. I said that, look, what you have mentioned here requires a broader discussion to be done. And therefore, without closing anything, let us meet everybody else with all the cabinet colleagues and other political leaders. Because the demands that they have, the suggestions they put forward for things like winter capital and all is a much, much broader.
Yes. You are firm on your offer to meet them again.
No, now we'll see how the situation is while this happened and after this incident happens. So now we'll have to review the situation first to figure out what has happened out here.
Right.
As I said, this is completely unacceptable. We have got enough evidence, enough video recordings to know exactly who the culprits are, and obviously we'll take action.
Mr. Conrad Sangma, thank you very much for speaking to Northeast Live.
All right, now I'm being joined live with our editor-in-chief, Wasbir Hussain. So yes, Wasbir, an unprecedented incident took place this evening in Tura. 6 to 7 policemen injured and vehicles also damaged, Wasbir.
Absolutely, Priya. Yes, we have heard from the Chief Minister himself. He said that 5 policemen are seriously injured and there are few others who have minor injuries, who sustain minor injuries. And we found that the Chief Minister is at the Chief Minister's office in Tura, not because he cannot go out of the office at this point in time, but he said that he is there to make sure that the policemen who are injured get the basic treatment right there before they are shifted to the hospital. And once they are shifted to the hospital, the Chief Minister said that he's going to go home in Tura. Now, that is as far as the casualties and the injuries are concerned. Now, let me tell you, as you have heard from the Chief Minister, there were he said that 90% of the NGOs and organizations in Tura, they were not part of this agitation. Now, about 2 to 3 groups were agitating for the last few days on various issues, including the demand for a winter capital in Tura and over the rooster issue. Now, the Chief Minister arrived in Tura basically to hold talks with as many agitating groups as possible to try and resolve the issue. Now, there was this meeting going on with 1 or 2 of the groups inside the Chief Minister's office in Tura. And it was resolved, the meeting, as the Chief Minister said, the meeting concluded with the general agreement that there will be a major round of discussion on August 8th or 9th in Shillong, along with the entire cabinet and other senior officials, because the demand for a winter capital in Tura, or for that matter, the rooster system, requires a broad overview, requires a broader dialogue between the agitating groups and the government as a whole, not just with the Chief Minister, but with the key members of the Meghalaya cabinet. And therefore, that was how the meeting concluded, with the Chief Minister agreeing to hold another round of talks, this time in Shillong on the 8th or 9th of August. Now, Now, as these leaders who were talking to the chief minister, they had gone out to tell the people as to what had transpired. They saw a different set of people. They came inside. They said that these are not our people. They were not willing to listen to these leaders, and these leaders came inside and said that these are not our people. These are vested interest group. Soon there was stone pelting on the chief minister's office. The crowd swelled in number, and they were started damaging several vehicles parked there, including at least one ambulance. So this is what has happened as far as the situation is concerned. And now after that, the paramilitary and police reinforcements arrived. They had to fire at least 3 rounds of tear gas shells to disperse the crowd. The crowd were also shouting slogans outside the chief minister's office. So this is quite an unprecedented situation, Priya, as far as Meghalaya is concerned, because we have not heard a chief minister being gheraoed or attacked just like that. So this is something absolutely unprecedented and shocking. And I think our Shillong correspondent, our Meghalaya correspondent, Purbasa Bhattacharya, is there with us, joining me from Shillong. Purbasa, if you can hear me, what are you hearing? When is the chief minister coming back to Shillong? He told me a short while ago that he is going to have a meeting in Shillong towards the first or second week of August with the agitating groups. And what do you say? Do you have any additional information?
Well, just a few minutes back, Empress Lingdo called me and she told me she was discussing about this situation, and then she told me that CM is supposed to have a meeting, separate of official meeting there in Tura. So tomorrow, that meeting she told me is tomorrow. So perhaps tomorrow she will hold. Perhaps tomorrow CM will hold the meeting in Tura. So after that, he is likely to return back to Shillong. And of course, this is something, it was expected that CM will call these people to Shillong for further discussion, because the demands is there. Of course, we have to understand that for such a long time, these people are agitating. They are sitting on the hunger strike. And today, whatever have happened is very unfortunate. And I spoke to the DGP also. The DGP is saying that additional forces will be sent to Tura, and the additional forces will be going there at present, and this curfew is there, and we can hope that once the additional forces reaches Tura, the situation will get normalized. As of now, the curfew is there, the CM is also there. They are waiting for the further clearance. Then only the CM will return back.
Purbasa, are you saying that there is curfew in Tura now? Are you confirming that
Yes.
there is a curfew on in Tura now?
Yes. Yes, there is curfew in Tura town now. Wasbi.
Okay. Okay, this is the breaking story at this point in time. We'll get a further update on that. I'm sure, Purbasa, when you spoke to the DGP must have told you that there is curfew there, if I'm not mistaken. Can you confirm whether it was the police chief or police sources who have confirmed the curfew in Tura?
I have spoke to DGP LR Bishnoiji, and he has confirmed that there is a curfew in Tura town now.
Okay. This is the big breaking story on Northeast Live at this hour, that there is curfew in Tura following the violence outside the chief minister's office, where the chief minister Conrad Sangma was himself there. There was stone pelting there. 5 policemen are seriously injured, according to Conrad Sangma, the chief minister himself, and a few others have sustained minor injuries. The chief minister personally looking after the welfare of the policemen there. This is absolutely unprecedented kind of a violence against the chief minister in Meghalaya, against any chief minister in Meghalaya. This is something shocking, and it is vested interest. Now, the big story also is that, viewers, is that the chief minister categorically stated that They have enough video evidence of the people who were involved in that violence outside the chief minister's office who were pelting stones, and that the police will have enough video evidence of these people, and the police is going to crack down on these people, the mischief mongers. So this is the big story at this point in time. There was violence outside the chief minister's office, even as the chief minister was holding talks with the agitating groups, some of the agitating groups, and 5 policemen were injured in that violence outside the chief minister's office,
a big breaking news coming in at this point in time. Section 144 CRPC being imposed at Tura with no night curfew. It is confirmed, Wasbir. Section 144 CRPC being imposed at Tura with night curfew.
Absolutely, viewers, that we have just broken this story. 144 CRPC, there is curfew, night curfew, and prohibition of the assembly of more than 5 people anywhere in Tura. There is night curfew as a preventive measure, and 5 policemen are injured, and several others were, 5 policemen were seriously injured, according to the chief minister, and few others sustained minor injuries. Now, the chief minister had said that they would hold another round of meeting broadly with the other members of the cabinet, because these are demands that require the cabinet's attention, because the demand for winter capital, having a winter capital in Tura, as well as the rooster issue, is a broad issue. If Purbasha, if you are still there,
yes.
Now Purbasha, tell us, do you have tomorrow, Amperin Lingdo, the government spokesman and minister, she has confirmed to Notice Live that Chief Minister Conrad Sangma will be holding another round of meeting with the NGOs in Tura tomorrow. So is it a continuation of today's meeting?
Wasbit, it's not a meeting with NGOs, it's the regular review meeting of different other departments. It's a different kind of meeting, but it's meeting with different other departments, including health, education. So it's not another round of meeting with NGOs, but of course the Chief Minister will be in Tura. Wasbit.
Okay, Conrad Sangma, the chief minister, will be in Tura tomorrow holding discussions not with NGOs. That's what our correspondent Purbasa has just confirmed. Holding meetings, he'll be holding meetings in Tura tomorrow, but not with the agitating NGOs, but with different departments, and take stock of the developmental measures and other activities in the district headquarter town of Tura. Review the situation in the entire Garo Hills. But the big news is that the chief minister will be camping in Tura tomorrow. It's not that he's rushing back to Shillong following this incident. Now, there is heightened security in Tura town. Additional police and paramilitary reinforcements have been sent to Tura. There is night curfew imposed, section 144 clamped, because the authorities do not want to take any chances. And of course, we are getting to know that we are getting to hear that the police is already on the lookout, because the chief minister has said that there is enough video evidence to zero in on some of these people who are actively involved in the stone pelting and attacking the vehicles, damaging public property, damaging vehicles, including an ambulance. So this is a clear case of arsoning in Tura town, just outside the chief minister's office, something that the police is going to take a strong note of. And our sources are telling us right now that the police teams are already out looking for some of these people. There is a curfew imposed in the town. There is night curfew. Police crackdown will start during the night. In fact, our sources are telling us the police has already started looking out for some of these people. Purbasa, what are you picking up on this?
Well, as DGP said, some more commandants, some more police personnel will be rushing to Tura. So as the more police forces will be rushing to Tura, so more police forces will definitely able to crack the culprits, and they will be nabbing all those miscreants, those who were pelting to. As Chief Minister has said, that video evidence is already showing that.
Absolutely. Now, what is the big story, viewers, is that, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma had told me a short while ago from inside the Chief Minister's office in Tura that was under siege a couple of hours ago, that 90% of the NGOs and people in the Garo Hills are not agitating at this point in time. 2 or 3 organizations are agitating because the rest of the organizations are already in dialogue with the Chief Minister and his government. That's what Mr. Conrad Sangma had said, that several people, majority of the people, majority of the organizations are already in dialogue with the Chief Minister and his government on their various demands. And only 2 or 3 organizations were actually agitating for the last several weeks, several days. And in fact, Chief Minister said a very interesting thing, that the people who pelted stones had also set ablaze the tent under which the agitation taking place, under which that agitation was going on. The agitators were taking shelter all these days. So it's very peculiar as to who these people are. Vested interest. Now there is no elaboration. Chief Minister refused to hazard a guess as to who these people are. But very soon we get to hear that police has video evidence of the people, and the crackdown has already begun. Back to you in the studios.
Yes,
Priya.
Wasbir and Purbasha will come back to you, but now it's time for a very short commercial break.
হাৰ্ট, কোলেষ্ট্ৰল, মেদবহুলতা আৰু মধুমেহ ৰোগীৰ বাবে সৰ্বশ্ৰেষ্ঠ হৈছে পতঞ্জলি ফিজিকেলি ৰিফাইণ্ড ৰাইচ ব্ৰেন অইল আৰু কচ্চি ঘানি বিশুদ্ধ সৰিয়হ তেল।
ৰোহন, কি কৰিছা?
স্কুল প্লেট ফ্ৰগ হ'ব দিছে।
মজিয়া বনোৱা হয় ল'ৰালি কালৰ বাবে। লৈ আহক নিমেৰে প্ৰস্তুত নিমাইল। ইয়াৰ 100% প্ৰাকৃতিক ক্ৰিয়াই মজিয়া কৰি তোলে ছেফ। নিমাইল, সুখ শান্তিৰ মজিয়া।
All right, we are getting reports that the Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has announced ex gratia of rupees 50,000 for the injured personnel, and all medical expenses will be borne by the state government. So another breaking news coming in at this point in time, viewers. Well, reports are coming in that Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has announced ex gratia of rupees 50,000 for the injured personnel, and not only this, well, all medical expenses will be borne by the state government. All right, a short while back earlier this evening, our assistant news editor from Shillong, Purbasha Bhattacharjee, spoke to DGP of Meghalaya, L.R. Bishnoi. So let's listen in.
What is the latest situation, sir?
The situation is under control now. It is under fully control. We have imposed the indefinite curfew in the town area.
Okay.
The extra police personnel are deployed to take care of the law and order situation during night and tomorrow. So, as per our situation report collected from the place of occurrence, total 6 to 7 police personnel, including one lady sub-inspector, got injured. So they are safe now. They got minor injury.
Yes.
And the crowd started pelting stone. All of them were immediately shifted to the civil hospital in Tura, and on the way also the ambulance, the miscreants pelted stone on the ambulance, and they have broken the side glass of the window. But they were taken safely to the hospitals, and they are okay now, not very grievous kind of injuries. And from the video footage, some of the miscreants were already identified, and the police is on hunt for them.
Okay.
So now, because curfew is imposed now, so our duty is to implement the curfew fully, so that the miscreants should not create any unlawful incident there in the town area like that.
Sir, is CM safe?
CM is 100% safe. He is in the secretariat office there, mini secretariat office at Tura. And once the police clears the road, all the roads fully, so then he will be taken to his residence.
দেশৰ প্ৰতিখন ঘৰেই মোৰ পৰিয়াল আৰু মোৰ প্ৰতিজ্ঞা হ'ল প্ৰতিখন ঘৰলৈ 100% বিশুদ্ধ সামগ্ৰী যোগান ধৰাটো পতঞ্জলি গৰুৰ ঘি কচ্চি ঘানি সৰিয়হৰ তেল মছলা কেশৰ আটা ডালি তথা চাউল আদি সকলো সামগ্ৰী পতঞ্জলিৰে ঘৰলৈ আনিব নিজৰ মৰমৰ শিশুটো আৰু পৰিয়ালক ভেজালকৰণৰ বিহৰ পৰা ৰক্ষা কৰক
সুগন্ধ ৰং আৰু সোৱাদ খাটি এভৰিডে দিয়ে আহাৰৰ জুতি এভৰিডে স্পাইচেছ 100% টেষ্ট এভৰিডে স্পাইচেছ বেষ্ট
If you want to become a government certified fitness trainer, nutrition coach, join Northeast #1 fitness institute, FitPro Fitness Academy at Gold's Gym, Ganeshguri. 100% placement guaranteed. Join us today and no cost EMI is available.
News to keep you ahead. Evening.
All right, we have fresh reactions from Meghalaya Chief Minister Congress Sangma. Let's listen in.
The incident that took place today in Tura, outside the CM Secretariat and the Commissioner of Provisions Office, is indeed very, very unfortunate. We had discussed with one or two of the groups and NGOs who had concerns and were having fasting for the last many days. And while discussions were going on, we had already agreed on finally meeting in Shillong and discussing this further with all different stakeholders, because the concerns that they have are affecting many communities and affecting the overall state as a whole, and hence these kind of decisions require more consultation. And in the meantime, of course, other development aspects and other works that we have initiated, those would continue at a fast pace, and those matters were discussed. And more or less, these NGOs who had these concerns were more or less satisfied. And I also would like to stress that majority of the stakeholders, civil society and the NGOs were not part of this fasting that took place. There were just 2 organizations or maximum 3 organizations that were in this, but 90% of the organizations were not part of this. So even then I felt it appropriate, and I've always believed that dialogue is important, and hence I made it a point to meet them. And that was what was decided. And so while we discussed everything, after the discussion was almost over, we heard some agitation and some sloganing from outside. And I asked some of the people to go and speak to the people and to their people and tell them to control and not to create any kind of scene out here. But once the leaders, the NGOs leaders had gone outside to talk to these people, they came back to tell us that they have no idea who these people are. They have never seen them here before. For the last 14 days since they have been here sitting and having this fasting, they didn't see these people, and today for the first time they've come, and some of them even looked intoxicated and not really in the correct senses in some sense. And this was said not by me but by the NGO leaders themselves. And then after that, the NGO leaders themselves then had to come in to the building, and they could not leave from here themselves. And even now they are in one of the rooms. They are not able to go because they are also worried, and it seems that these people who are there are people who are not part of their organization. So we have a full video recording and details of all the people who have instigated, and definitely as per law necessary action will be taken from the police side. And also, as I said, we had asked the organizations to come and meet us, but it is sad that while we took the initiative to come and speak to them and try to find a resolution to this, this is a kind of unexpected situation that has unfolded. But nonetheless, The police has controlled the situation. We had some incidents where, because of the store pelting, without any instigation from the police, almost close to 5 police personnel were quite seriously injured, and few other minor injuries also were there. And from my side, I have decided that I'll be giving 50,000 rupees as medical allowance to each one of them from my CMSG scheme. All those who are injured, the police who are injured, and whatever the medical expenditures are there will be completely borne by the government. At the same time, as I said, we condemn this kind of an action, and this is not something that Garo Hills has experienced, and whatever we have seen seems to be another plan by some other individuals. As I said, even the NGOs who were in this have already said that they are not part of this, and they are not aware of the individuals who have been involved. And as I said, we have recordings, so accordingly police will take action.
All right, now I'm being joined over phone line with our correspondent from Tura, Biplab Dey. So, Biplab, first of all, tell us about the present situation. How was the situation at this point in time, Biplab?
The present situation has actually normalized. The people who were agitating and the ones that actually caused the violence, all of them have actually dispersed as of now. There's been a lot of police presence around the entire town, and shops across the town have actually shut down. Ever since there was some amount of news flash regarding the fact that there's violence taking place in Takopre. The Tura supermarket area, the Ringray, every other area that's a market in Tura has actually shut down almost immediately after there was violence was reported. As of now, the CM is still in the CMO's office as per latest report, and he's still overseeing matters. 6 to 7 people, including 2 women at least, one woman home guard as well as a woman policewoman have been injured. That's the latest that we know, and there's been a huge amount of vehicles that have been either broken or somehow damaged due to by the same people who are in the mob. And these things are still being assessed as to what the exact damage is, but there's been a series of motorcycles being thrown, dropped from their stands, then cars being overturned, then as well as like has been stated earlier, the pandal where the people were agitating, where the hunger strike was taking place, that has been burnt down, along with an ambulance that was placed just there for those people who, in case they fell sick. As well as the ambulance has not been burnt down. The ambulance was damaged, but then there's a fire engine there that was burnt down. This is the latest that we've got in terms of things. People have now started moving out of the CMO's office as of now. So the situation looks better compared to about 2 hours ago.
So Biplab, now also tell us about the injured police personnel. We know 6 to 7 police personnel, they are seriously injured. So where are they at this point in time, and how's their condition?
They've had some injuries, but it's not really extremely serious. They've been taken for medical care as of now to Tura Civil Hospital after the crowd is dissipated. Okay, we are not expecting any serious injuries to be reported in the next few moments as well, because like the CM has said, as well as the DGP has already announced, the fact is these are minor injuries, but not to a great extent. They've been already moved.
Yes, and Biplab, security has been put on high alert. Section 144 CRPC already, imposed in Tura. So tell us about that as well.
See, this is an expected thing because after such a ruckus has taken place, you'd expect the police and the district administration to impose the law firstly, and this is something that has been expected. Fortunately, unfortunately, this incident happened, and while there's been no real reason as to which can be placed on why this entire thing happened, the entire violence happened. Unless an investigation takes place that actually tries to find out, to fact find, we would really not know until that actually happens.
All right, Biplab, thank you so much for all those details. So that was our correspondent from Tura giving us all the latest updates. So the situation is normal at this point in time, and Section 144 CRPC has been imposed in Tura.
হাৰ্ট কোলেষ্ট্ৰল মেদবহুলতা আৰু মধুমেহ ৰোগীৰ বাবে সৰ্বশ্ৰেষ্ঠ হৈছে পতঞ্জলি ফিজিকেলি ৰিফাইন্ড ৰাইচ ব্ৰেন অইল আৰু কচ্চি ঘানি বিশুদ্ধ সৰিয়হ তেল।
সুগন্ধ ৰং আৰু সোৱাদ খাটি এভৰিডে দিয়ে আহাৰৰ জুতি। এভৰিডে স্পাইচেছ 100% টেষ্ট। এভৰিডে স্পাইচেছ বেষ্ট।
News breaks from the region. Only on Northeast Live. Your station, your voice. News to keep you ahead. Evening Prime. Every day at 7 p.m. News breaks from the region. Only on Northeast Live. Your station, your voice. News to keep you ahead. Evening Prime. Every day at 7 p.m.
মায়ে নিজ হাতেৰে মঠি উলিওৱা ঘিৰ দৰে সুস্বাদু আৰু স্বাস্থ্যসন্মত পতঞ্জলি গাই গৰুৰ দেশী ঘি খাওক নিজৰ পৰিয়ালক ভেজালকৰণৰ বিহৰ পৰা ৰক্ষা কৰক
अब बनो सिर्फ यार से सुपरस्टार एवरी डे विद द वाइडेस्ट रेंज ऑफ यूनिक स्टाइल्स एंड कलेक्शंस फ्रॉम मिंत्रा
पाओ सबसे यूनिक लुक्स फ्रॉम 100% ओरिजिनल ब्रांड्स सिर्फ मिंत्रा पे
विवेल एलोवेरा আছে প্ৰাকৃতিক এলোভেৰা আৰু ভিটামিন ইৰ হটগুণ ই ছালখনক কৰি তোলে কোমলতকৈও কোমল विवेल एलोवेरा
News to keep you ahead. Evening Prime, every day at 7 p.m.
नमस्कार, मुद्दा में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं रविंद्र चौहान। असम में हिमंत बिश्व शर्मा की सरकार आने के बाद से जनता के करीब रहने के लिए कई प्रयोग किए गए हैं। ये प्रयोग कितना सफल हुआ है, इसे जानने के लिए हमें जनता को सुनना होगा या चुनाव तक इंतजार करना होगा। लेकिन जनता का भरोसा बनाए रखने के लिए अब तक जो प्रयास किए गए हैं उसमें दिसपुर से बाहर कैबिनेट बैठक करने की एक परंपरा चल पड़ी है, जिसे प्रशासनिक सुधार के रूप में भी देखा जा रहा है। हालांकि इसकी शुरुआत सर्बानंद सोनोवाल के मुख्यमंत्री रहते ही हुई, जब उन्होंने माजुली में कैबिनेट की बैठक बुलाई थी। मई 2021 में हिमंत बिश्व शर्मा के नेतृत्व में सरकार बनने के बाद से अब तक जो प्रयोग किए गए हैं, इसमें से सबसे चर्चित दिसपुर के बाहर कैबिनेट की बैठक करना है। प्रशासनिक प्रयोगों में हर 2 से 6 महीने के अंतराल पर डीसी कॉन्फ्रेंस और एसपी कॉन्फ्रेंस करना और राजधानी के बाहर कैबिनेट बैठकें बुलाना, और अब इसी कड़ी में एक और कदम उठाया गया है। असम कैबिनेट की बैठक में लिए गए फैसले की जानकारी देते हुए शनिवार को मुख्यमंत्री ने कहा कि मंत्रिमंडल के सदस्य और खुद वो 15 दिनों तक गांव में जाकर देखेंगे कि सरकारी योजनाओं का लाभ लोगों को मिल रहा है कि नहीं। सिर्फ यही नहीं, 5000 योग्य ऑफिसर्स को भी यही काम करना होगा। सरकारी कर्मचारियों, मंत्रियों या खुद मुख्यमंत्री को इस दौरान किसी गेस्ट हाउस में या सर्किट हाउस में नहीं रुकना है, लोगों के घरों या गाँव में ही रुकना है। इस पर विपक्ष के नेताओं का कहना है कि ये कवायद चुनाव को ध्यान में रखकर की जा रही है। भाजपा जनता से जुड़ने की कोशिश भर कर रही है, क्योंकि सरकार का जनता से संपर्क टूट गया है। क्या सरकार का ये कदम वास्तव में क्रांतिकारी साबित होगा या विपक्ष के आरोप में भी सच्चाई है? आज इस पर चर्चा के लिए हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं असम विधानसभा के डिप्टी स्पीकर डॉक्टर नुमल मोमिन, प्रदेश कांग्रेस के कार्यकारी अध्यक्ष और विधायक कमलाक्ष देव प्रकाश और वरिष्ठ पत्रकार रविशंकर रवि। आप सबका इस कार्यक्रम में स्वागत है। हम आज एक महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर चर्चा करने जा रहे हैं और आज हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण व्यक्तित्व भी हैं। तो सबसे पहले डॉक्टर नुमल मोमिन के पास जाएंगे और उनसे ही जानेंगे कि ये जो कदम उठाया गया